Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know, my name is Kiana. I'm an actuarial science student at McMaster University. For the past few months, I have been on internship, and I actually just completed my internship last week, Friday, after 12 long months. So that's exciting. Today's video, I kind of just want to talk about my internship experience, why I decided to go on internship, why I recommend it to people, and I guess thoughts on going back to school. Kind of going to talk about my internship experience and what I learned as well. Oh my god, my coffee, shit. So to start off, I will say that just for some context, I wasn't in the co-op program at my school. My school does have one. I think a lot of universities do, but I didn't get into mine. My grades weren't the best, I guess, and mine is, I guess, a bit competitive, so I just didn't get in. So I got this internship on myself by going to networking conferences such as ASNA. If you're in Canada, you know what that is. Or you should know what that is. It's a very big networking career fair. Good place to go to get a job. It's virtual this year because of Corona. So if you want some information into that, I can leave it down below. I'll put it in the description. But yeah, so I got my internship technically through ASNA, but not at ASNA. So last year in January 2019, I went to ASNA and I went there with no exams, no experience, and my grades weren't really the best. And so my mission there was to meet as many people as I can, because I didn't really think I was qualified for a job. Even worse, when I got there, I met so many people, and a lot of them, I was in third year at the time. I met some second and first years who told me they had like 1 or 2 exams and like Waterloo, hello. And I guess for me in third year, I was like, oh fuck, I'm definitely not gonna get a job. Like, it's over for me. So yeah, safe to say, I was like, all right, I'm definitely at the bottom of this list. So my whole thing going to the career fair was to just meet people and build some connections and get people to like me and that kind of stuff. That's usually my strategy anyways. That's the strategy I would recommend to people that, you know, your grades aren't the hottest. Like, go make them like you. And you have to also be a good worker, because that's the thing. Like, I felt like I was a good worker. I just did not put the effort into school. And I think one thing you need to be very real with yourself and say and recognize is that people think it's like you can always go around and say, oh, well, I'm smart, I just don't care to do the work in school. The point is that in corporate, they're gonna look at your grades, they're gonna look at your work, and you can't be saying that you're a hard worker and your grades don't reflect that. Maybe for me, something else reflected that, because I am involved in a lot of shit. So, you know, anyways, I digress. So I built a lot of connections at ASNA, and I guess specific to the person that hired me, I remember I went up to them and they were like, hi, like, are you looking for an internship? And I was like, I am looking for an internship, but not in summer. And I purposely said not summer, but fall, because I didn't think I was competitive enough to get a summer internship. Maybe I was like, I don't know, downplaying myself, or I didn't feel that confident, but I didn't feel that confident. So I was like, all right, I don't think I could get it in summer, but I think I could probably get it in fall. And I know people don't apply as much in fall, so I've been told. So yeah, fast forward, I got the internship in June, which was a very last minute decision for me, because by that time, June, you know, like, I already got a new apartment in Hamilton. I was getting furniture. I was planning for my final year and all that shit. So when they told me that, I was like, okay, shit, like, I need to go take this internship. Because you see, the thing is that when you don't have experience, when you don't have exams, when your grades aren't the best, if you get an opportunity like that, you take it, because that just upped my quality or my worth in the workspace 1,000%, genuinely. Because I mean, now I'm leaving my internship with 12 months of experience. I have an exam. I should have had 3, but we're not going to talk about how Corona destroyed that. But, you know, I just have so much more to show especially to still back up my grades. There's a lot to show, and the good recommendations I would have gotten from the internship and stuff. So yeah, if you get the opportunity, take it. Taking an internship is also a good place to figure out, is this where you really want to be? You know, I have a friend that she took an internship and she realized, I don't want to be an actuary, I want to go do my CPA. So you kind of need to gauge it, and like, it helps you understand, like, do you want to be here? Do you want to spend the rest of your life here? You know? So anyways, let's get back into it. So I started my internship in September 2019, and I was put in pricing. I think personally for me, pricing was the best place to have been placed, for me to have been placed, because I am so into marketing, business development, product development, and anything like that. I think it was a good mesh for me, because the thing is, I always wanted to be an actuary, but I was always told growing up how boring it was. So I actually always wanted to see if there was ever a cross between marketing and being an actuary, because I've always wanted to do marketing. I just didn't go to school for marketing. So I think being there was a great starting point for me, because it was very interesting to me. It was a place where I could see how things were developed and how we look at the consumer analysis and all of that stuff. And it was just so cool, competitive information and just all that fun stuff. So it was nice to see how the companies like work against each other and together. It was nice to see how the companies, like, you know, you compare and contrast and all of that, the premiums and all of that stuff. By the way, I worked in life insurance. So yeah, with pricing, I will say that there were some courses that I took in school that actually did help me in my role. Will I say there were many? It's hard to say, because the thing is, a lot of the courses you take in first and second year are foundational courses, and third year too. Very foundational courses. You think it's not important, but it low-key is, because you're learning concepts that in the future a computer is doing for you. So you don't appreciate the knowledge, is what I've come to say, or come to understand. Because I used to be one of those people, like, especially when my internship just started, I'm like, what the fuck am I going to school for? Like, I didn't learn anything that I'm doing right now. And there is so much that you learn in school that you don't use in the workspace. But it could also be, maybe I'm not in the field that uses that knowledge, you know? It's also that you're learning how to do certain things by hand that you still need to understand the concept, but a computer is going to do for you. If you didn't learn the concept, then you wouldn't understand what the computer is doing. So don't underestimate what you're learning in school. Can the school do more? For sure, because in pricing, I did get exposure to Excel VBA, just a bit, just a small bit. And I was never taught Excel VBA at McMaster. I'm actually surprised that McMaster doesn't have a course for that, considering how much it is used, or considering how widely it's used by actuaries in general, in PNC, in lifing in general. So I'm so surprised at that. And it's not just McMaster. I don't think many schools even do Excel VBA courses. I know McMaster has a course for Python, which I don't know how many companies use that. Obviously, I've only been at one company ever, but I just know everyone uses Excel VBA to the freaking end. And yeah, whatever. Let's move on. So in pricing, I got some experience with GGY Axis. I got some experience with Excel on its own, like pivot tables and the basic functions in Excel and stuff. And of course, with Excel VBA. 8 months into my internship, I asked for an extension because I was only supposed to be there for 8 months. I asked for another 4 months so I could get a job through the summer. I was placed in another department where I did a lot of Excel VBA. I smile when I say that because, guys, it is truly such an asset to know how to code when you're an actuary. And I think schools need to place more emphasis on that, because it's like, it depends on depending on which department you end up in when you graduate, your job could be all coding. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some expert coder, but I definitely could finesse, because at the end of the day, a lot of people just Google when they don't know what to do, you know, like for the syntax or whatever. So anyways, in this new department, I did a lot of work with Excel on its own, using way more tools than I would have done in pricing. So again, I think I mentioned the pivot tables, but I was also using functions that I've never ever touched in my life, because I was creating models. Well, I wasn't creating the models, but I was like helping with the development of them, and testing them and stuff. And so we use a lot of Excel VBA, a lot of Excel, a lot of Microsoft Access, which, oh, it's so annoying. It's not that hard to use, it's just so annoying, I find. And yeah, like that's mainly what I do with this team. But they do more, I just don't do that. Got a lot of experience with this team. I guess a little secret I'll say, I'm actually working part-time with the company and I'll still be on this team, which is nice because I'm gonna get more time to enhance my skill set. But yeah, so yeah, that's basically what my learning experience was like. In terms of being at the company, I really love that company. I feel like being there also kind of helped to shape my impression of the industry, because people there are fun. I don't know, like I've met actuaries before and I always just thought they were kind of boring and weird and lame. And not weird, like, let me not say weird, but they just weren't my type of people. And I was always afraid, because people always try to drive it into my head how actuaries are boring and that. It's like, and I know it's like kind of childish to think, but I always thought, well, I'm an actuary, or I'm trying to be an actuary, I'm not boring. I hope. So who's to say that other people are boring? So anyways, they're cool people. The company had cool people. I met a lot of fun people and it was nice. I really liked being there. Thoughts on going back to school? I still don't like school. I'm still not excited, but I'm excited to graduate and get back into working, because there's just like a lot you can do in the actuarial space. And one thing to say is that I think doing the internship has allowed me to understand where I would want to go when I graduate, like specific departments I would want to go, which ones I probably would not want to go, which obviously I only did 2 departments, but you know, I've met a lot of people and they did certain roles, and I can understand and relate when they tell me they don't like a role because of this. And you know, you start understanding things about the business and the departments, that you know what each department does. So anyways, I think like that's another benefit I got. When I go back to school, I guess one thing I'm going to be doing is really refining certain skill sets like coding, because it is so valuable, guys. I'm telling you, it's not all this foo-foo. The schools don't place emphasis on it, and I am here to tell you, go learn some freaking code, bro. Like, go learn some coding languages. Yeah, so besides that, I guess that's pretty much it. Yeah. 1 more year of school, finally ready to graduate, get the hell out of McMaster. Peace. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. I just wanted to kind of share my experience and encourage you that if you are given the opportunity to take an internship, do it. You will not regret it. This internship now has actually kind of made me feel more comfortable that I will get hired, because I was always afraid that because I was graduating without work experience, that it would be so damn hard for me to get a job once I graduate. So I strongly recommend you guys, you know, take internships if you get the opportunity. You won't regret it. Even if it puts you like a semester off, just go take the internship. It's way better to have it before you graduate, I promise you. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment them down below. I will definitely answer them. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Really supports my channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Lots of school content coming up because I start school next week. I start my internship again next week, the part-time version next week. Yeah, and so I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.